Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on issue 1 of volume 6 of the new Fantastic Four comic book series. Now, as you know, for a time, Fantastic Four was swept under the rug by Marvel due to the fact that 20th Century Fox still had the rights to Fantastic Four and X-Men, and since they've got it back, Marvel and Disney are now able to do Fantastic Four now. So the cover is more of a variant from Forbidden Planet and has the Fantastic Four ready for action. And let's get on with the story. And the story mainly starts off how someone is talking about the Fantastic Four being adventurers, scientists, and everything else. And we see Ben Grimm going out with Alicia for stuff, and as well as baby cats, saying, "Oh, listen to them purr. Ben, Lean, and you have to hear this." "Okay, Alicia, come on. You don't really want a bunch of these furballs running around underfoot, do you?" And so, as well, Ben does get used to the kittens, and Johnny Storm is with Wyatt, who are basically at a baseball game, and even appears on the celebrity cam. So, much like in the first issue in the 1960s, someone fires the Fantastic Four flare gun, which shoots out the Fantastic Four symbol. Everyone looks amazed, and Johnny Storm jumps at the opportunity and thinks that the Fantastic Four are back, and goes, "It means Judy Cause, Wyatt. Flame on!" And more importantly, it means they're back! So Ben knows what's been going on, knows that this isn't them, and tells the truth to Arisha, despite telling her to drop it, but does admit it after she promises to, tell him about it. So Johnny pretty much races through, and I'm surprised that Ben isn't going to give him a phone call to, say that maybe you should think this through. So he points out that whatever happened, that they're not coming back, and that whoever set the flare gun isn't them, which turns out it's the Yancey Street Gang. And they start panicking, thinking that they're gonna kill them, even though no, they're not going to. So it does news reports coming over the place, and brings up the history of the Fantastic Four, and even having interviews with other members, like Ben Grimm, who says no comment, along with Lady Medusa, Crystal, Luke Cage, and Jennifer Walters, who plans to give them community service and everything. And Johnny Storm and them get into an argument, and says, "Wait, rewind. Someone hired you for this? Who did that?" "The Thing." So you can tell Ben knows that they were just kids, they meant no real harm. And Ben and his landlord check if anything else was stolen, except one thing, and points out what happened with the Fantastic Four. In that one of their adventures, they help someone called Astronomica, and she points out in the flashback that asks if one of them must power it up first, and it has to be the best singer. So they all loot for Johnny, apart from Sue, which is implied she has a terrible singing voice. And Sue's like, "Honey, you think Mummy can? Please, Mummy, don't sing." "Fine." And so Johnny gives a well out, and if not powerful singing voice, and lights the way through, and Ben catches Alicia and Benjamin just in time, and they make it through. But Ben points out that, that it was also meant to be a gift to also help find where his heart lies. And he's like, "It's time to got him my biggest adventure ever." And so, after basically years of waiting, Ben finally does it. He actually proposes to Alicia, and pretty much they call Johnny to let them know the good news, and asks Johnny to be the best man. And Johnny rightfully says no and points out it should be Reed. I get it, Johnny expects, I guess Ben probably thought Johnny would have been up for it, but keep in mind that, that Johnny would have been the best candidate. So Ben goes, "You ungrateful little, this was a beautiful freaking moment for us, and you just had to ruin it. I'm gonna..." So pretty much Alicia stops them from trying to kill each other, and Johnny pretty much races up into the sky and calls out Reed's name, but nothing happens. And this is like a moment where you expect something to happen, and Johnny now knows that they're not coming back. But something miraculous happens somewhere else. They send out the signal. Everyone watches, friends, bystanders, and close ones. And it's a signal that the Fantastic Four are back. Now, meanwhile, in Latveria, it's been taken over by military forces, and a young woman enters the castle of Dr. Von Doom and says, "Has our angel returned to us? Intruder! Who would invade the sovereignty of Dr. Doom?" And she points out that she doesn't have time for intruders, and Dr. Doom points out, saying, "I have heard enough." And she asks who she is, and she points out her name is Zola, and that Latveria needs Dr. Doom, but says that, asks her, is this the face of a savior? But Doom pretty much accepts the role and pretty much goes into action to take on the government forces, and pretty much dismantles his Doombot and goes in for the attack. And this is the story. So what I think of the first issue, it definitely shows everyone going back to their active roles and everything returning back to the status quo. So it deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.